Hey, Scott Lara, president of military-affairs.com, your one-stop shop for travel. If you're a member of the military, if you're a veteran like I am, or a family member of a military person, military-affairs.com. Imagine this, your 12-year-old son being sick on a cruise 350 miles away from shore. Well, that's what happened to this Massachusetts boy, and he was airlifted off a Carnival cruise ship, but the ship was 350 miles away. Now, I'm a Navy veteran, and I know this, but I'll tell you, when your ship is 350 miles away from land, helicopters can't go that far. So the helicopters, the Coast Guard helicopters that had to go out and rescue this young man, I guess he had a bowel perforation, and that's very serious. You got to get medical help quickly or else you could die. So the Coast Guard, they had to refuel a couple times, and I'm just looking here at the different news stories. It was the 920th Rescue Wing of the Air Force, two HH-60G Pave Hawk helicopters, and two HC-130J Combat King II aircraft, and two teams of combat rescue officers and pararescuemen flew to the ship's location to get Aiden. And the thing is, that's what's so cool about the military, right? We train for this stuff all the time. If it's being in the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Air Force. And to go 350 miles out there, you got to refuel. If you remember the movie A Hunt for Red October, when they took the guy out there, the CIA agent, to try to meet the sub, and the guy in the helicopter was saying, hey, we're running on fumes, and then you got to turn around and then you got to fly back. But again, shout out to the military for getting young 12-year-old Aiden off the ship, getting him back, and they created a GoFundMe account for this young man. Now, I know what you're going to ask me, Scott. What? What about travel insurance? Would travel insurance have covered this? Again, I've said 1,000 times, you got to look at the fine print of travel insurance. Was there a pre-existing condition? You know, what went on? You know, did the medical people XYZ? So there's a lot of questions on that. But what I want to say is congratulations to this young man and his family. He's on the road to recovery. I'll put a link to the GoFundMe account in the description in case you want to, help this young man out. I think they're only asking for like $3,000 or $4,000. It's not like $100,000. Another question you're probably going to ask is, Scott, is the military going to charge this family? I don't know, but you hear about this stuff all the time where a cruise ship will be out to sea. Somebody gets hurt, somebody gets sick, and usually it's the Coast Guard that will go out there and, they'll fly over and either, they'll rappel, somebody down and then, get them in the basket and then pull them back up to the helicopter and take them off. Quick story, a good friend of mine and his wife were on a cruise with me, and she had a heart attack, and we were off the coast of Puerto Rico. And so once we got into Puerto Rico, we were told, please do not send the person to the hospital in Puerto Rico, get them back to the US. And so they did not have travel insurance. They did have Medicare, and a private medical jet, picked my friends up there in Puerto Rico and flew them back to Jacksonville. The issue with that is my best friend had to drive their vehicle back to Jacksonville because their van was in Fort Lauderdale, and we had to get that van back home here to Jacksonville because those people were medevaced off the ship. Again, the point is, I'm glad this young man is okay. Thank goodness, they were able to get him. They diagnosed him quickly, and he's doing better. Scott Lara, president of military-affairs.com. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again next week. Thanks.